All right, so if we start, what was it like to carry on working through a mining strike? Obviously, Nottingham didn't strike. So did you encounter any hostility? Or
We did. We had flying pickets come down from Durham and Yorkshire. And one morning I took your dad to work and they were trying to grab hold of us. And it was quite rough.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. Did you have any like friends or people you knew who did strike?
Well, that was the beauty of it. The majority of the people were all together supporting the Union of Democratic Mine Workers instead of supporting Arthur Scargill. And that's what caused the problem when he appeared on the scene.
Right, okay.
There was half and half there, weren't there? Half of the village, some were working, some weren't they? Because some were still at NUM and some were at UDM.
So it was like is it a community?
So it was a divide, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it weren't a 50-50 divide. They were the minority.
Right.
But the only thing about it was through Yorkshire miners and what have you, they got looked after, especially at Christmas time, with hamper boxes and turkeys, where we didn't get anything like that.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. So leading off of that, then, in terms of income during the strike, did it affect domestic life, your ability to afford clothes and food?
Well, in my memory, I seem to think we got about £9 a week.
It was obviously the main priority were buying food.
Right, okay.
Food for kids and food for you.
If I remember right, we used to have a treat with family allowance, didn't we?
Yeah, we used to have family allowance.
When family allowance came round each week, we used to have a treat.
But they also set up a food bank in welfare, didn't they? And they had a soup kitchen.
Before you went out on flying picket duty in the morning, there was some, in the welfare, there were some chip fryers and what have you, so they got these all in use, and we used to have chips and fish fingers and also burgers before we set off in the morning.
Right. Okay.
And same as I said before, we'd be going out to rally cycle works because they use a lot of coal. Right. Boots chemistry.
Yeah. And
then all the power stations in the local area, they were all targeted.
Okay.
But it weren't all bad news because there was some good humour amongst it.
Yeah, so it was the community that got you through.
Yeah.
You say.
Oh yeah.
A lot of humorous people about,
Yeah. And we all helped one another. What one hadn't got and somebody had, then you shared it, or you know.
Yeah. Yeah. You say it's a lot different from today.
Yeah.
A lot different, yeah.
Yeah, because everybody pulled together because you're all in the same boat.
They wouldn't do it now. what we did, they wouldn't do it.
No.
Okay. But you couldn't afford to go out and things like that, could you? You just existed, really.
We used to go out with our own job.
Yeah.
So relating back to a story you told me just before this, could you elaborate more on when you went to get potatoes out of the field?
Because at that point in time, I lost my dad and we had my dad's car. And because we got the best car and the best boot, they picked on us to drive for the potatoes, didn't they, Bob?
Yeah.
So they found this field down Mansfield Woodhouse with a potato pie in it. Then they found a good gap in the edge. So they all crawled through edge. I drove off with car. I took away while they filled me a bag as well. And then after 20 minutes, watching the time, I drove back to where the potatoes were in the field, chucked all the bags in the boot, and away we went.
Wow.
Back home.
Okay.
So we had
plenty of potatoes.
We had potatoes and mincemeat or something. We used to have all sorts, shepherd's pie, mince and potatoes, anything you could lay hands on.
Potatoes.
Yeah. And then coal. You went and got some coal.
Yeah, we had coal.
Because then we relied on coal for his heating, for his water and everything.
Yeah.
Because we were at open fires and whatever. So you needed coal, didn't we? And if you had, and they wouldn't let you have your coal delivery, would they? I
had that much coal in the car one Sunday night that even with the headlights on dim, they were shining over the top of the houses. Back end of the car were down that much.
Really?
Filled the boot. Put a cover on the back seat, filled all the back seat and in the well where your feet go. Right. And I did 2 or 3 runs like that, didn't I?
Yeah. And then people would go picking it as well, what they called off at tips and that.
And that was a result of the strike?
Yeah, that was all to do with strike, yeah.
Because the miners didn't get their their allowance. They used to
Because
get
you
an
got-
allowance, coal allowance.
Okay.
And because they were on strike, they stopped giving them stopped your coal, didn't they?
Yeah, stopped your allowance.
So if you would do one that month, and you got down your coal, obviously you hadn't got any.
In our contract in them days, we used to get a ton of coal per month.
Okay.
Your ton of coal had to last you a month. So what they found greatly about it was, because you're on strike, you're not working, we'll stop it. So they stopped that. So we had no option but to use a mild word, we had to steal it.
They're looking for some.
Fair enough, I suppose.
Yeah. Weren't going to have a cold house when there were coal knocking about.
Yeah. So the strikes in general, in the community, in the neighbourhood, do you remember any disputes or large fallouts as a result of hardship from the
Families fell out.
Yeah, frequently.
Sons
Because the
on
split
one
of the
side,
unions,
sons on
weren't
another. Because depending on what split of the union they were, son-in-laws and father-in-laws, and from families that could be divided.
Right.
It was family fallouts mainly. I'm not talking to you because you're in UM. I'm not talking to you because you're in UDM. And that's how it went.
So can you remember the community and personal views about Margaret Thatcher? Do you feel that her government ruined British industry?
Margaret Thatcher ruined everything for us.
So for the miners and communities and families?
Yeah, destroyed everything.
Because the coal industry was the village, weren't it? Everything revolved around the mine. You had your welfare that were run by FIT, weren't it? Trustees at FIT. You had your bands. You had your kids things like
cricket, football.
Scouts were run by church.
They had everything going for them then.
But they helped the church, didn't they? They did everything really.
And she ruined everything, because in the demise then, as we're closing, all the activities that Barbara has just mentioned all went for a Burton.
Right.
So now there's nothing. No jazz band, no brass band.
Yeah.
No squash courts, no tennis. It's all gone. The only thing that still survived is football, cricket, and balls.
Right.
Green balls.
But that's not done through welfare now. It has to be done like either privately or through council or whatever.
People subscribe to it to keep it going.
Okay.
Community spirit's like not the same, is it? It's not as good. Although at the moment we've got a community group in Clipston that's trying to get the community back. They've brought back like the Gala Queen and things like that, and trying to get the things back, because they used to have a coal queen at one time, and they're trying to bring that back now, but in a different forum,
Yeah. So there's a legacy from.
It still lingers on.
There's still that,
but not so bad in our village, but in other parts of they do in Yorkshire. You find that people are still really adamant about it.
Actually in our village at Clipston, we got off light because Shirebrook were worse than us, weren't it?
Yeah,
that were terrible.
Yeah.
Because we had a friend that got attacked, didn't we?
He was going to work one morning. They had to put wire mesh outside of buses because these flying pickies
coming down and smashing windows.
Just for example, half a building brick and throwing a building brick and it was in these wire mesh. And the men had to just sit on the edge of the seat in the gangway in case brick came through coach window.
Yeah.
At least we didn't have that, did we? We just had them going down there.
We were quite lucky, really.
At canteen, didn't we?
In Clipston.
Tried to stop you going down pit.
Yeah.
It wasn't that you wanted to go, really. It was just the fact that if all this wouldn't have happened, if Arthur Scargill had given you the vote.
So that's one of the reasons that you feel Nottingham didn't go on strike, because you didn't have the option to do it. It was sort of forced upon you. So that's why Nottingham said, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah, it was forced
If Arthur Scargill had have accepted the attitude of the Notts Miners would not have gone out on strike.
No, they would have gone out on strike.
Would have gone with them, sorry.
And then it would have been a complete...
Yeah.
And then they wouldn't be any of this. But he said, no, No, we're going out
And
on
then
strike whether you vote for it or not.
Instead
That's
of having
like
a split
taking your
union.
rights away from you, isn't it? The union rights is that you've got a right to vote.
And
what
he didn't
want
give you
to
that.
do, and he didn't give us that right.
Okay. So following on from Nottingham not striking, do you feel that if you did strike, it'd have been a more effective?
Yeah, because it would have been 100%.
So it would have been 100%, and you feel that would have possibly changed?
Yeah, the political side of it. If we'd have all kept together, we would have had more strength against the government.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it happened what happened, didn't it? She still closed the pits anyway, so. It didn't,
so your argument is that even if Nottingham did strike, it wouldn't have changed.
Would if it still changed? Would they still close pit? I think they would.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But the problem being now is that they can't open the mines up that's already closed because everything could be crushed.
Recently there was debate about Clipston Colliery, the pit heads.
Headstocks.
The headstocks, being removed.
Well, there's some for it, some against it, and so it's still a fight for them. Yeah, we've still got this battle.
They were talking at one time of going each side of the motorway, M1. But because they're a listed building,
right?
Is it Greenpeace? Do you call them Greenpeace? No.
There'll be a something like that.
There's somebody like that involved that not allowing to take them down, but they are getting dangerous.
Is it something that you in your community see every day and are proud of, or is it something that you feel?
I don't mind them. I didn't mind them.
We're proud
now,
of, but
they're not now because they're looking in bad need of repair and restoration. You know, so
right. Okay.
They're just going to be an eyesore, aren't they? Whereas they could be made to look nice and be part of a memorial, I should say, to the mining community.
Right. So you feel it's not as much memorial, but sort of something that needs to be restored.
The beauty of them was that
they've done it in other
British
parts,
steel,
haven't they?
They were made in Stockton-on-Tees.
Right. Okay.
So everything about them were English.
Yeah. That's about it for the questions, really. Do you have anything else you want to add? Any personal experiences that you remember vividly?
Well, no, I think the main thing about it is, as we've already said, that because we were split, it ruined it.
Yeah, and that was, like you say, down to Arthur Scargill and
Yeah, being adamant about it.
I did a bit of bus driving during the strike because I've got a bus driving licence as well as working at pit.
Okay.
And I took some flying pickets to Arnhem Power Station. And one of the chaps that were on picket duty outside gate, he'd got a big pan of stew on a stove, and he was staring away at this stew, and all of a sudden his hat was missing. And when he stirred stew a little bit more, up popped out beanie hat. So that were in bottom of stew.
Oh dear.
But they were the sort of things that happened. But like when I was there at Arnhem, they tried bringing up the government through a back door, tried bringing oil tankers in, and the men were throwing iron bars at him and know injuring them. And that part of it weren't done.
No. So the violence as a result of the strike
was because the government hardened, the pickets hardened.
Punishments dished out that didn't need to be, weren't they? Yeah. Like, people were trying to picket.
Do you feel that as a result of the strike, people who wouldn't usually resort to violence just jumped on the bandwagon and did it just for the sake of violence?
That is true.
Probably some.
That happened.
Yeah.
That did happen.
And did you feel that gave the strike a bad name?
Yeah.
Well, it didn't give Nottinghamshire a bad name, but it did Yorkshire.
Right, okay. So there was that regional identity from Yorkshire and Nottingham that...
Nottinghamshire wanted to do it peacefully.
Right.
But Yorkshire, as soon as they appeared on the scene, wanted to rip you apart and rip your clothes off your body. And
okay.
Yeah, it was terrible, really.
Yeah. But some police were like that and all, though, weren't they?
Some police were a bit horrible, yeah.
Well, anyway.
But we got through it.
Yeah, thanks very much for
talking
and sharing your experiences on the mining strike.